Welcome once again to Eabc Tech Computer Education. Today we are going to learn together about computer, how to use it and how to do everything. So let me open the notes for today. We shall have these lessons together. So this is a book. Those who need a book, you can come to the office, we give you the book, or you text me under the comment section so we can see how we can forward the notes to you. So that is very important. Of course, these are the rules and regulations for computer lab. Since you're online, you don't need them, but if you have a computer area where you do your computer classes, please, I encourage you not to follow those rules. But also we do have our YouTube channel. This is where we post all our videos like here online classes. So please don't forget to subscribe and like and share to those who need. So this is the type of content for what we shall cover. We shall study together how to, of course, the basics about a computer, where we shall know what is a computer, the functionalities, and also the components, computer components, such as like input devices, central processing unit, CPU, and also different memories, primary and secondary memories, the output devices and input devices, and so on. Also, we shall learn together how to use keyboard. Of course, I will just get a link for you for how to use keyboard. So now we do have, let me first change the sound where because the sound may make noise for you. So let me change to another device. But anyway, I'm sorry about that. So let's continue. So we shall study how to use keyboard also and the mouse. The basics about keyboard and mouse. So the lesson one will be how to use keyboard, how to type. Of course, I will not teach how to type, but I'll give you like a browsers where you can get these informations for all the links which can help you to learn how to type. So after that, we shall learn together what is Microsoft Word, how to use Microsoft Word, like the Windows session format and the other, and so on. So many things we shall learn from there. So without wasting our time, let's dive into the lesson. I'm sorry about that also. Also, we shall study lesson 3, Power Bible. This is a tool we use for Bible college students, how to use a Bible, like how to make a sermon, lesson outlines, to get verses differences in the easiest way, and also to edit your lesson without being disturbed. So we shall also learn how to use internet and emails and the other things. So let's begin with the introduction to the computer. Computer is an electronic device operating under the control instruction stored in its own memory that can accept data such as like inputs and process the data according to the specified rules. Produced information, kind of like we call them output. It produces out the information by using the output devices. So there is a functionality of computer. It's any digital computer carries out 5 functions in a gross terms. The first one is it takes data as an input. You send the data into your computer. So that is, computer has that ability of accessing the data as an input, but also it stores data and instructions in the memories and uses them when required. Like when you send the data in the computer, it can store them, and also to process data and converts it into useful information. So that is a computer, and also for free, it generates the data as an output. Like when you're watching your football or typing, anything you see on your screen, it is generating them as an output. So this is how computer works. You send data into the system box, which has storage, it has processor, it has RAM and low memory cards, and other secondary and primary storages, and also it processes those information, then it brings them outside by using like a monitors, using a speakers, depends with what you want to process out. So let's continue with the computer components. In the computer components, we have hardware and software. These are very important things to know. In hardware, we have computer hardware is a collection of physical elements that institutes and a computer system. A computer hardware refers to physical parts components of a computer, such as like a monitor. In other words, or in short, or in summary, you can say that computer hardwares are anything you can see with your eyes and you can touch with your hands. Those are hardwares. Now, softwares, of course, here we can see hardwares like a monitor, speakers, modem, system box, and the printers, keyboard, mouse. All those are hardwares. So we do have also input devices such as like those ones, but I don't need to explain that because we are going to go here. So when we go to softwares, it's anything you can't touch with your eyes, which helps a computer learn very well. We are going to see that. But let's first go to the examples of the input devices. We have keyboard, you type and sends information to the computer. We have calculators, we have a mouse, we have a remote controls for the TVs, we have joystick, remote, and also we have a touch screen, scanners, graphic tables, and microphones, digital cameras, like webcams, and also light pens. So all these things help us to send data into the computer. So also when we come here to understand more about the CPU, we can see that CPU is a brain of a computer. It is responsible for all functions and the process regarding computer power, and the CPU is the most important element of a computer system. So CPU is very important and really helpful, so we need to know that it really helps a lot. That is kind of like a brain, like the way you have a brain in your head, and the brain gives information to every organ of your body. And also we have a CPU is divided in 3 elements. Number 1 is arithmetic logic unit, which help us to execute all arithmetic and logic operations. And also we have here, we see that it also controls, it's a control unit, that is CPU, controls all coordinates computer components, such as like it reads the codes of the next instruction, it increments the program counter, and also it reads whether whatever data instruction requires from the set in memories, and so it provides the necessary data to any area or register. So also we see that if instruction requires a area, that is requires a register, it specifically hardware complete instructed the hardware to perform the requirement. So all these things are in the notes, but I just want you to make sure that you read them. So the last element of CPU, it's register. It stores data that is to be executed next, a very fast storage area. So in other words, like a brain, the way you store the data and you execute it very faster. So when you take long, you may forget what you have seen, but the memory will still keep something you have ever seen before. So that is how also a processor works. And also a processor is helped by what we call primary memories, RAM and ROM, which is random access memory, and also ROM read-only memory. You can read all those information there, but let's continue with secondary memories. So the secondary memories, it's where we have like a big storage, such as like hard disk and the optical disk and flash disk. Those are external memories, like we attach or we add on to ROM and RAM. So a hard disk can be in any size, it can be a bigger size or a smaller size, but you can increase it anytime you want. So there is a comparison between RAM and the hard disk. Of course, RAM we have memory, and then hard disk they are storage. So that is something we need to know. RAMs, they help us to memory to kind of save the memories of what computer have seen, and also hard disk help us to store, or like it works like a storage, like a storage area where you stock things computer wants to use. You can read all these notes take your time to read them. So these are the output devices. We have an example of them, such as like the computer monitors. We have TVs. We have printers. They need to form in two ways. They are LaserJet and inkjet. All those are the types of printers. Just one uses laser tube. Another one uses powder. Then this one uses a liquid, and that is why it is called inkjet. It uses ink. So that are ink cartridges. So that is the difference between laser printer and the inkjet printers. But they are all output devices. And also we do have speakers like those woofers you have in your homes, and we have plotters like where we print billboards, those big printers, and also we have a projector. So we see that those are the output devices. Now let's talk about software. Software is a generic term of organized correction of a computer data and instruction, often broken into two major categories. There is a system software, provides the basics, non-task-specific functions of a computer, and application software, which uses by user to accomplish specific tasks. So these are the two main things. So this is an application, and this is for what we call system software, like such as operating system. So that is very important also. Software types, we have like a system software, the ones I've mentioned about, which are the operating systems. And also we have application software. This is user accomplished specific tasks, such as like your WhatsApp, TikTok, Facebook, and your phones. So the examples of operating system, we have Microsoft Windows, such as like Windows XP, Windows 90, Windows 2000, Windows 11, 7, all the way to the above, to the latest. And also we have these other Windows, like coding Windows, such as Linux, Unix, and the Mac OS for the Mac computers. Also we have a DOS, which is command prompt. So also we have in the browsers or applications, we have operating browsers, Opera browser, web browsers like Google Chrome. We have Microsoft Word, such as like, Microsoft Office, which is Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Publisher, and others. So all those applications, YouTube, Facebook, Adobe Photoshop or Premiere Pro, whatever Adobe you have, they are all applications. So that is the difference between system softwares and the applications. So we see how we measure the storage. We measure them by bits, where one kilobyte is equivalent to 1024 bytes. So that is how you measure the size of the storage. You measure them by byte. And also we do have how to measure the processor. We measure processor by speed, where we measure by hertz or kilohertz, megahertz, and hertz. So that is how we measure CPU. 1 hertz is equivalent to 1 cycle per second, how faster the processor is, and also 1 megahertz is equivalent to 1 million cycles per second. You can understand how faster this one is. So 2 gigahertz, it's equivalent to 1 billion cycles per second. Wow, this is a very fast computer which has this type of process. Anyway, let's continue with the computer's classification. In computer's classification, computer can begin generally classified by size and the power as they followed through, though there is considerable overlap. Personal computer, we do have something called personal computer, like a small single user computer based on microprocessor. We have workstation computers, very powerful ones, and we have mini computers like the small desktop computers. And also we have mainframe powerful multi-user computer capable for supporting many hundreds of thousands of users simultaneously, like it's a main big project computer, like a wall computer, something like that. And also we do have laptops and smartphones computers. So these are portable computers. And also we have some other stuff. But let's go to how to turn a computer turn on. turning on the computer and logging on the computer. When you turn the computer, there are three states of computer. There is off, on, and sleeping mode. Off is this is exactly what it sounds like. The computer is off and no parts are running or anything working. So that is computer is off. But when when it is on, and you should see an image on the monitor, like you should see lights, LEDs on the computer box, and also on your screen monitor you should see an image such as which we call desktop or wallpaper. And also we do have a sleeping mode. A sleeping mode, it is when a computer is not being useful, like you're not using it, you're not tampering with anything like a mouse, keyboard. That computer goes in what we call sleeping mode. It is on, but in sleeping mode, which some people they call it hibernation. So also we do have this is how computer looks like when it is on. Of course, you get to see the desktop, and it is on. If you have a Windows 7, you will have something like that, where you put your password and the administrator, all guest users, different stuff like other guest users if you have them. So this is computer which is on, and this part you are seeing, this image you are seeing, it's what we call desktop. Okay, so this is now how desktop looks like. A desktop, once the computer is open from administrator, you get this image in front of you which has icons. This small thing you are seeing here, they are called icons. So now this is a desktop, so you need to start accessing what is in the computer using what we call applications. So these icons are standing for what we call applications. So now let's jump to the keyboard. The keyboard and the mouse. A keyboard, we do have major buttons we love using on the keyboard, like in number 5 where we have tab key. So we have a backspace, delete, shift, space bar, for putting this key help us to put a space between words and letters. So we have tab, caps lock, control, enter. So please, I encourage you to read these notes so that you can understand how to use keyboard. But we are going to get a lesson of how to use it. Then we go to mouse. There is different types of mouse, but the mouse help us to move or to access or to open anything we want to open on the computer. So that is a cursor, the one I'm moving on your screen. It's being moved by a mouse. So mouse has two buttons, left button and right button, and the scrolling wheel in the middle. So the left button, it helps us to select items, like anything we want to open. Like for example, if I want to access here, I press left button. So it helps you to open anything you want to open. But if I need a right button, it gives you more option. If I need more option of this volume, I press right button. This is left button, it gives you this. Now this is right button, it gives you this. Now I can use left button to get more access, something like this, more access. So that's very important to do. Even here I can change. Let's change it to that way. Okay, so now let's continue with our lesson. But let me first give you a short break before we continue with part